Hello Scorpio and welcome back. And of course if you're new here, I love you already. Scorpio, this is going to be a reading for love and relationships for the month of August. And as usual we're going to do it in 3 parts. First we're going to have a look at your state of mind, where you're coming from, where you're headed to. Then we're going to have a look at your path through August and get some clues about what that person is thinking. And then we're going to draw some 3 cards of advice from the universe right at the end. Ooh. Scorpio, just quickly, if you want to support this channel, of course there's 3 ways you can do it. First of all, by liking this video if it resonates with you. Secondly, by subscribing and perhaps pushing that notification bell. And thirdly, you can always, buy me a coffee. The details are down below in the description. And if you'd like a personal reading, there's also some details how you can book one there as well. Alright, Scorpio, love and relationships for August. Spirit, Scorpio, love and relationships. Let's get into it. Wow. Wow. Okay. Scorpio, the energy around you this month in terms of your relationships. I have the family card. Okay, I call this a family card because there's a lot of emotional fulfillment. And so I'm getting this is where you are right now. It may not necessarily be family, but it's certainly that feeling of being in an incredibly happy space. I've just got major arcana everywhere, let me just tell you. Your challenge for the month, I have the 6 of Swords. And the 6 of Swords, as a challenge, is for you to figure your way forward from here. Perhaps I get the feeling that you've been through some issues, some confusion perhaps in your life, some confusion in terms of your relationships. Maybe there's been some arguments, maybe there's been some stress. And now you're in this happy space. And your challenge this month is figuring your way forward. And when it's a 6 of Swords, it's a no going back way forward, if you like. It's a card that tells you that the only way back home is not by the way you came here. So you have to find a new route as such. So as I say, where you're coming from, I have the 5 of Wands. And the 5 of Wands speaks of 2 things. One, a real battle with somebody in your life. A lot of backwards and forwards, a lot of arguments. But it could also mean just you overthinking. So this is where I see you coming from, and what's led you here is this kind of battle going on, either in your head or with somebody. In your heart space right now, I have you as the Emperor. And this is a great card to have here because, first of all, I love the Emperor. He's one of my favorite characters in this whole life story of the tarot. Because he's that guy that's incredibly tactless. He'll tell you exactly how it is. And maybe that's what you're doing at the moment as well. Is especially in terms of your relationships, you're telling yourself some stuff that you didn't want to know before. So maybe you figured some stuff out and like, okay, I'm not doing it this way again. Maybe I was the arsehole this time. Or maybe I mustn't let myself so deep in or but that kind of thing. It's you being a little hard on yourself in a good way. Telling yourself good things that you need to know, that you've been avoiding to say to yourself. And in your headspace, I see the Wheel of Fortune. And this is you wanting change. This is you wanting to make changes in your life. We have 2 big change cards in the tarot deck. It's the Wheel of Fortune and the Tower. The Tower is usually something that comes from outside, making the changes. And the Wheel of Fortune is usually as a result of stuff that you got going on in your life. In other words, stuff that you have control over. So I see you wanting to make big changes. And where you're headed to and where you're looking towards is the star. And this is creating dreams for yourself. This is you, reigniting those dreams. If you've gone through a period of, uncertainty, this is where you're waking yourself up again. And the Emperor in your heart space is the one it's you telling yourself, okay, come on now. Let's reignite those dreams. Let's look at those dreams again. Let's have a look at a path through August. Yeah. So your insecurity for the month, in other words, your self-doubt, is you wondering whether you've got enough to give to somebody else. Are you financially secure enough? Do you have the confidence? Do you have the looks? Do you have the basis of a relationship to form? And when it's in this position, the universe is saying you have all of those things. It doesn't matter. You have that strength underneath. Your intentions are built on solid rock and not on sand and instability. Right now, the environment you're operating in, and this usually, in this context, can refer to the other person we're talking about. Either the one you've left, or the one you're looking to, or the one you're with. And it's the Eight of Swords. And it's that person kind of feeling that whatever they do, you're telling them it's wrong. Whatever they try, they feel like they're doing the wrong thing. So maybe that's where these arguments came from, and that's why you're here, and that's why you're looking forward and re-looking at your dreams. That other person, or even if you're looking at somebody else at the moment, they don't feel they're good enough for you because they feel whatever they do just seems to work out wrong. Whatever words they say seem to come out the wrong way. Your advice, though, Scorpio, I have the Seven of Wands. And this card's come up a lot lately. And I think it's got a lot to do with where we all are right now. And this is figuring out what our real values are, what really matters to us. So the universe is saying this is an exercise you need to do with yourself right now. It's to figure out what your real goals are, what your real values are. So that if you go into a relationship again, you can easily match your values with the other person. It's a card for standing up for what you believe in. And for you to be clear about it. But to be clear about it, you have to make a concerted effort to figure out what those things are for yourself. And in doing that, pain can be released. Let's put it that way. Pain and suffering can lift when you figure out who you are. And I get you doing that already. You having hard talks with yourself in your heart. Your head is saying you need to change things. You redefining your dreams with the star card. So what the universe is saying is, build on that stuff and build a set of goals for yourself. And in doing that, uncertainty lifts. And when uncertainty lifts, the fear of the unknown lifts. When you become certain of things, the fear of the unknown lifts. And that's this card. That's that uncertainty lifting. Let's have another couple of cards from the universe for some advice. Yeah. So, universe is saying in August you might feel a bit isolated. So if you've cut yourself off from somebody, or starting to cut yourself off from somebody, this is a month where you're going to feel a little on your own. And this is never a bad thing. You know, someone once said to me, you have two choices when you're on your own, either to feel lonely or to enjoy the solitude. And I always choose to enjoy the solitude. And the universe is saying is release yourself from whatever it was, release yourself, let it go. The Judgment card is one of just letting go and starting new. Release all that stuff from the past. This Five of Wands which you may have been battling with. And this longing for change. This is your card of release. But you have to do it yourself. And the last card we have for you is the Hierophant. And this is a card of traditional values. So, you know, it links up with the Seven of Wands, which is you defining what's important to you. And the Hierophant is saying, look at traditional values, because that's the thing that's going to get you through to your next stage of growth, to the big changes that the Wheel of Fortune is promising. And the Wheel of Fortune changes is always a positive change. So focus on traditional values. Focus on long-term stuff. I almost want to say marriage principles. Scorpio, I hope that makes sense to you. And if it does, you know, like this video, subscribe, and don't forget to buy me a coffee. And I hope to see you again soon.